Well, good evening, everybody. I don't know whether anybody's going to be joining me this evening because this was kind of like a real last minute. Am I going to go live or not? So I kind of apologise that it kind of worked out like this. I haven't been able to give anyone any notice, whatsoever. So if someone comes on, great. If not, I'll natter to myself for a little while and apologize that I wasn't able to give you a single bit of warning or anything. There's two of you on there already. I reckon people must just linger. Hello, Mike. I think you've been lingering there. So yeah, just saying, this is like completely on the spur of the moment, really. So we're in Dartmoor, or on Dartmoor. We've got the tap with me. It'll be dark in about 45 minutes, so I'm not quite sure. Alpha Foxtrot Zulu, hello to you too. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to manage with light. What I might try... Tom, hello Tom, we haven't seen you for a little while. I do have a tripod, so it's not for knocking myself on the head for any sense. Hey, there's a feather there, look. I'm going to get cold tonight. I've lost a feather from the sleeping bag. But I do have a light, so I might attach the light to the tripod and we'll kind of see whether we get a little bit of light that way before it gets dark. One thing I do need to do, and I don't know what's going to happen when I do it, it's not that, I'm not thinking about that, and I'm a peer. I do need to get some water. Hello Tony, hope you are well. Steve 268, yeah, I'm very well. Thank you very much. You lot must just be lingering over there. So I am going to go and get some water. It's literally just down here. Now I've got the phone set up over there because what I'm doing now, I've kind of confused everything and made everything more complicated for myself for the moment. But I'm a two phone person now. I was a one phone person, but now I'm a two phone person. So I was using the tablet, as you know, and I still have the tablet, but I probably won't be bringing it again because the Android is my main phone. And then this one is that new fangled Apple 13 Pro Max thing. And I've heard many good things about its video quality. So I thought I would, give it a crack and see what it's like, for taking videos, and it might save a little bit of weight from my camera. I'm just trying to step, I don't want to go flying. I'm just going to try and step down here. Now, I don't know what the signal's going to do when I come down here. You might disappear on me. With any luck, you will hang around and linger some more. So you can come and help me get some water. I've got this little tripod-y thing, so I can set that up there. Actually, let me put this over here. Actually, if I put that up there, and then maybe you can see me getting water. I don't know whether you're here very much, but I'll be back anyway. Hello, Lassie. So we're just going to get some water for night. I wanted to do this anyway, and I thought, well, I may as well try and do it while we're live and save a minute. Who knows whether you can, Lassie, wait. What I don't want to do is to lose this water bottle. I did that once before. You can tell me in a minute if you can hear me. Nice water. Very nice. Easy. Right. Mind my step. Could anybody, it normally looks like horse pee. Well, actually, to be honest, the water here, we're quite lucky in this spot because it's usually quite clear. Hang on, let me just try and get this leveled up. It's usually quite clear in this little area around here. Got a beautiful sunset over there. Looks like there's a fire going off or something like that. Maybe it's Armageddon or something. So if that is the end of the world over there, then I think we'll just stay exactly where we are. Because that really does look quite fiery over there. All right, well, I'm going to duck inside. Well, that's exactly right, Tom. I've been fine with this. I've been fine with this water for, yeah, the water, yes. I've been fine with this water for a long time. I did do a video in the Lake District a couple of weeks ago, but I am somewhat behind on editing as usual, so that will get uploaded, at some point when I finally, get around to it. I think Lassie is over here looking like she wants to have go on then, have a swim. Go on then. Let's get that angled right. Go on then, have a swim. It's like when she's on camera, she goes shy. She'll go to it in the night, in the morning, without even thinking a thing about it. And yet when I'm looking at her, it's like she wants permission. Go on then, have a swim. Go on then, good girl. This silly dog. So obviously I've got the Grace Duo tarp again this time. I've made a little bit of a video this trip, but haven't made a huge amount. It's mostly been a restful trip, but I have done some video on this GWG 2000 Mudmaster. It's a new watch out, or a replacement for their GWG 1000 Mudmaster watch. I do have the Rolex somewhere lying around, but I got this one out of curiosity the other week because loads of people have been talking about G-Shock, so I kind of was piqued by curiosity, by them. That was a surprise. A Casio. Well, it won't be all the time. It's just like temporary. But when this live stream finishes, or at some point in the future, go over to the other side, and I did a video on this watch, and I did it about 6 days ago, and it's got 9,000 views. So quite pleased with that one. I've not had a video that shot off like that before. So yeah, it's definitely Mr. Rangeman. I've been talking about you. I've done some videos and I've mentioned you. Mr. Rangeman, people check out his Casio channel as well. You'll find them. Just Google GWG 1000 and you can't miss them. Let me put this down here. I've got this little leg things on this. So we've got a few well-known people on here now. I don't want a view of my crotch, do you? Well, not unless you're young and blonde. I wouldn't be so lucky, would I? So let's have a look. Let's have a look in here. So I brought the old Casio with me. I haven't done a video on that one yet. In fact, actually, I've got the wrong watch on here, haven't I? That's not the watch that I'm keeping. I forgot that. That's the one I'm not keeping. That's the one I'm sending back. That's the one that I'm keeping. That one there. I got a bit carried away with my Casios. I'm not so up on Casios. I kind of got the wrong one. And then I ended up getting the right one. So I've lost it now. Where did I put it? Typical. I put something down and then I forget where I put it. Yeah, so this is the one that I did the video on. This is the GWG 2000. And this is the one that's got 9,000 views on my watch channel. But I really do think that that's had more than enough wrist time for this trip. Well, certainly for now anyway. So we'll switch back to something a little bit more in keeping with me. I just got rather intrigued by everybody going on about G-Shock, so I sort of accidentally got this one. Right, okay, well, while we're all chatting, and I better check out the comments in a minute, see if I've missed something. I have to settle down for bed. A whole load of blokes out there watching a middle-aged man get into bed. What the world has come to, eh? Oh, I don't know. Right, so I've got my flashy light here, so we can get a little bit of light on the subject later on when it starts to get a bit too dark. I was going to do a live stream. I'm doing a live stream, aren't I? I was going to do a time-lapse thing. Does Casio G-Shock have GPS? No. Mr. Rangeman, do any Casio G-Shocks have GPS? I don't think so. The one that I'm not keeping... Oh, yes, they do. Okay, which one? Okay, so you told me yes, one does. Which one, Mr. Rangeman? I'm not up on these Casios so much. This one certainly doesn't. Was it the Frogman or the range viewfinder one? One of them obviously has a GPS. I don't know. Oh, the Rangeman for starters. GPR B1000 Rangeman for starters. So obviously some Casios do have GPS on them, yes. This is the one that I got by accident. This is the GGB100. And this one I'm definitely going to be returning. Hopefully, thank you, Tom. Hopefully, I can get a full refund on this one. We will see. It cost a bit more on Amazon than it really, should have done. And it does hook up to your phone, so you can use your phone, and you can use it to track back to where you were, but only as the crow flies. I've tried it twice. I tried it yesterday by walking up this hill and back again, and I tried it again just now, and on both occasions I couldn't get it to work. So I don't know, maybe I was doing something wrong. And it has a log on it, so you can again attach it or connect it to your phone, and it will log where you've walked, how far you've walked, and that type of thing. But again, to my mind, and I'm no Casio expert, I'll probably upset all the Casio friends out there now, but to my mind, you can do that either on a Fenix or an Apple, or frankly, just do it on your phone. Just use the GPS on the phone. So I personally don't really see the benefit of that. If you want a really good all-round perfect watch for outdoors, and the Garmin Fenix, my Fenix 6 Pro, yes, as Mr. Rangeman says, clearly the Fenix is 100,000,000% the one watch to get, for the outdoors. If you're going to get a watch for the outdoors, nothing touches the Fenix. Just nothing will touch it. It does so many things, and it does them all brilliantly. That if you're all watching, keep an eye on what Mr. Rangeman, because he's the Casio expert on all of this. I just have my thoughts and opinions, but he's the guy who knows this stuff a lot better than me. I can only give an opinion, an impression on just wearing and using a couple of them, literally for like a week, and that's it. So, you take my advice on that with a little bit of a pinch of salt. But I do think that the Fenix, nothing beats the Fenix. Really, I don't think anything will beat it. Clearly, if you have a G-Shock like this one, which I will keep, clearly you could drive over it, and nothing's gonna happen to it. This is a camping channel, but we are talking watches, but this is outdoor watches, so it's kind of allowed. I mean, obviously you could drive over this one, and nothing's going to break it or anything like that, but again, nothing matches it for nothing is as good as the Fenix. I keep repeating myself a bit now, aren't I? Right, okay, I think it's time to think about getting into bed. I'm going to check back through messages in a minute. Hang on, I've got a load of stuff outside as well. So I've got power packs, and so I think now I've started using what you're all watching this on, and for the new people, this is the iPhone Apple thing, 13 Pro Max. And this is now going to be my second phone. It's a smartwatch, so expect to replace it after 5 years or so. Talking about this. So while G-Shocks are made for a longer time span, so far no watch will put a tent up for you. No, you got to put the tent up yourself. And obviously what Mr. Rangeman is saying is that obviously if you want a watch to last you a very long time for the outdoors and give you basic information, then obviously a G-Shock is, certainly worth thinking about if you just want altimeter, barometer, compass, and well, that's basically what that one does. It has solar power and radio controlled thing, so it keeps the time accurate. But I think for most outdoor purposes, you're still looking at something like the Phoenix, which is the best thing for that. But like I said, you know, obviously something like a G-Shock will last a very, very long time. Indeed, as I showed you, Lassie's getting in the way. This Casio Pro Track is about 18 years old. I managed to put a new battery in it, although I must admit I didn't put the sealing rubber thing back in again. I forgot. I've got it at home safe, and there are two springs that I didn't know where they went. So there are two springs missing from inside here, which I took out, and I don't know where they go back in. And the rubber gasket I took out, and I forgot to put it back. But because I got it working again, I thought, sod that for luck. I ain't taking it apart again, because I took it apart a couple of times and nearly wrecked it. And I nearly just didn't get it working again. So now I've got it working and all back together again. There's no way I'm taking it apart again just to put a rubber gasket back in it. Because let's face it, realistically, I'm never going to be using it, you know, out here. You know, it's just nice to get it working again. But clearly, you know, I'm not going to be using it in a rough and rugged way. So it's not really, you know, important to get it working again, or, you know, to have all the attachments inside it. So I'll have to look out for the Rangeman GPS Casio, and there was a comment, Mr. Rangeman, if you're still there, I uploaded a short on this watch here, and someone said, why haven't Casio updated the Rangeman? So maybe they'll update that one day in the future. But like I said, they do so many of these things, I can't keep up with them. Not that I know much about them anyway. Right. Okay, well, I think it's time. I think I brought everything in to start to make myself comfy. I've shown you outside. I'm not standing outside freezing my butt off when I can be inside here chatting to you lot from a sleeping bag. Sorry if you're a bit wonky, I just haven't straightened it up yet. So it's been a nice day today. It's been sunny mostly, a little bit of cloud, not much, quite warm enough for the end of October. And we've just been relaxing in camp, to be honest. I've had food, I've had crackers, as if I'm not crackers enough. I've been eating more crackers to make me more crackers. I had some Stilton cheese earlier on, but then I finished that, so I brought this Primula cheese thing with me. So I've been eating that today. I bring these sort of sweet packet things with me. So I've been eating that. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swing around here a minute, and then I'll go through the questions and I'll just see if I've missed anything. Probably sort of most of the important ones. What's the forecast for tonight? I'm guessing it's about being conservative of what is happening. That's why the users, the messages, they don't stay up very long on here. I'll check that in a minute. The forecast for tonight, I believe, is quite pleasant. I don't think there's what was supposed to have happened today, and luckily it didn't, was the let me try and level you up a bit. It's gone the other way now. All my viewers have gone the other way. Oh God, it's a good job most of you lot know me. So the forecast today was the wind was going to be a northerly wind, which would have been coming this way. Now it might have been a northerly wind, but luckily there hasn't really been any wind, so it's been okay to leave the tarp pitched, you know, exactly like this, how it is in this direction. And I haven't really changed it, you know, I haven't had to do anything with the door or lack of a door or anything like that here. So, and I think it's going to be calm. I don't think there's any rain forecast. There's the wind during the evening is supposed to change back to a southerly wind, which is coming from that direction. So hopefully, if it rained, and it's not supposed to, and if the wind picks up, which I'm not quite sure if it will or not, it should be coming back in this direction. So we should be quite dry, you know, in here, hopefully. Right, I'm just going to get... I've got my trousers on, but I've got my nighttime leggings underneath. So excuse me 1 minute while I just duck down here and... Ooh, ow. Hang on, you can't see anything, can you? Hang on, let's just angle that way. You wouldn't see anything anyway, because I've got my my leggings underneath. But getting too bloody old for that. I will be putting the kettle on in a minute, because I must admit I am a bit thirsty. Okay, right, let's get in the sleeping bag in a minute. I'll try that light in a minute because it's starting to get a little bit dark, but I won't put it on just yet. Oh, that's nice and cozy. If anyone says, oh, they don't like camping and all that type of stuff, they ought to try getting into a sleeping bag when they're out here. There's just nothing like it. There is just absolutely nothing like getting into a sleeping bag when you're out here. I must admit, obviously when you get into your bed at home, it's you know, obviously it's cozy in your own bed, but I must admit there's something very snuggly. My nose is just constantly running. There's just something very snuggly about being in a sleeping bag. Right, I'll put the kettle on. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the kettle on. I've got a down jacket. I've got a down jacket as well, so if I start to get cool here, then I can put... Oh, it's down there. Then I can put that on. I'm just gonna do 1 second, because I haven't put all my stuff away over here, and I've got a few bits lying out here. So I'm just gonna put this foam mat over that, just to protect that for now. Right, where was I? Oh yes, I know. Cup of tea. You lot, you can wait a minute. You can wait a minute while I put the kettle on. Anyone for tea? So let's see what we can see here. Let's just angle this. Yep. Down that. So cup. That spoon there I use for the Stilton. So when I've got the Stilton, I just scoop a bit. I don't know if anyone seen Laurel and Hardy? Like, apart from Morecambe and Wise, probably the equal with Morecambe and Wise best comedy act ever. What tour am I on? Oh, well, I'm not. I'm at the bottom of. I'm sort of behind one, at the bottom of one in a valley. But I'm not going to say exactly where I am, because I don't want, 1,000 people coming along during the night with hoodies on swag bags or anything like that. But if you ever saw Laurel and Hardy, going back a very, very long time, how long have you had the Trail Design Cook System for? Okay, I'll answer that in a sec. I don't know why I'm looking over that way for some reason, because the camera's over here, isn't it? Yeah, I'm looking over that way. God alone knows why. By Lynch Tour? No, I'm on the south. I'm on the south tour. That's on the north tour. So I'm on the south more. Distracting me with all your good questions. But if you ever saw Laurel and Hardy, I will go through all these questions in a minute. If you ever saw Laurel and Hardy, then when he's in the hospital, Hardy is in hospital, and he's got like a broken leg in the thing. So Stan Laurel goes in, and he cracks an egg open, and then he's eating the egg, and then he's putting salt in his mouth, something like that. He's doing something really bizarre. So when I'm eating cheese and crackers, we're getting to where I'm going now, I eat the cheese separately, and then I chuck a cracker in my gob afterwards. Right, let's get this kettle on. Yeah, so I've had this cooking system I have had for a very, very long time, probably 10 plus years now, and it's you'll all be pleased to know, I have taken advice and switched over to bioethanol from that MEFS. I have several of you were suggesting bioethanol, so I switched over to that. Now, where did I put the lighter? There. And I'm still using this this lighter here, which is an electrical, whatever it is, Zippo lighter. I just without the metal casing, and it works a treat, to be honest. I nicked it. I nicked it from my dad. Water. There is a drop of water in there, but I have this strange habit of lighting the stove and then adding water. Right, let's so that's the so I've had this stove now, Tom, for 10 plus years, and I used to use gas a long time ago, but I just like this system. It's just so light and convenient, and I can get every single thing inside the pot, so everything goes in the pot. I don't have to, well, obviously the cup I carry separate, and obviously I must admit the fuel I carry the fuel separate, but then even one of the fuels fits in the pot. Light and simple, exactly. And there is nothing that can go wrong. There is nothing that can go wrong. I can see how much fuel I have exactly. So if I'm using gas, which I did, you know, on 1 or 2 camps just as a trial, just to see what it was like, I had to guess how much gas I was using, how much gas I was expending, and you know, you could quite easily run out of gas. Not if you have plenty of baked beans, I suppose. But with this system, you can see, you know, exactly how much you've got, and I just like it a lot. And I might use gas occasionally. The Minimo the Minimo that Jetboil sell kind of looks interesting, So I might be tempted to get one of those just as something, you know, a little bit different. I'm starting to set up the professional light system here, so you can see me in a minute. If you have get baked beans, exactly, Tom. If you have plenty of baked beans, then you'll have plenty of gas. So I'm just trying to set up my professional light system here. We're very professional. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do this yet, because I can't extend it up that way. Mind you, if I'd have put it that way, that might actually be better. Actually, let me try it. Trust me to. Hang on a minute. Actually, it might be better if I do it that way, and then it won't be in the camera so much. Let me try that, and then if I swing that around there, we might actually get some use out of this light now. Right there. Oh, that's not bad, is it? Hello. And that's on the lowest setting, so we'll kind of see how long this light lasts. Now I need a professional reflector here to reflect light back into my face. Hang on, let's see, move. Hang on, maybe if I put that there. Okay, we'll try that. All right, we'll try that. That's better. Right, I've got the water on. I haven't forgotten all your questions. Oh Jesus, it's nice to it's nice to relax out here and do absolutely nothing. 2p being worn brings back memories. Hang on, live chat. Oh, hang on. Okay, let's have a look. Let's go right back to the beginning. I'm just going to go through all your messages, because we're not exactly Casey Neistat, who has like a million messages that we can't go through all of them. So let's just have a look. Excuse my finger in the way. So we've so exactly, Tom, as you said at the beginning, I've been drinking this Dartmoor water for years now, and when I was in the Lake District I drank the Tarn water, and it was fine. So then that was where we were talking about GPS watches. I don't think I missed anything, to be honest. It was Mike saying he likes his thingy there. Mr. Rangeman says it's a smartwatch, so expect to replace it. That's the Phoenix we're talking about here. After 5 years or so. Why do the messages go? They don't hang around. Does anyone use a smartphone or a tablet for this type of thing? And how do you get the messages to stay longer, that I can actually read them before they disappear? What is... Hang on. Okay, so yeah, so obviously what Philip, Mr. Rangeman, was saying was that obviously, no, don't go away, stupid messages. Was it something, obviously not like this, but something like a Phoenix or something like that will stop working, or will become slightly redundant after some time, whereas of course a G-Shock will go on for a very long time. Hi, greetings from Ireland, PD. Hello, I hope you are still there. What have you got for tea, Tony? I'll have a look in a moment. What's the forecast? We've done that. Philip said, I'm guessing it's about being conservative with what is happening, thus why the GWG 2000 uses the same module from the original GWG 1000. I had heard somewhere, Philip, that the module number was different, but I don't know. And even if it's different, it might be... Hang on, I've got to blow my dinner out a minute, or tea out. PD, good stuff, great to get out. What tour are you on? How long have you had the trail design cook system? Well, I found my hat earlier on. I was lost my hat. Is it by an inch tour? I shall be on the lookout. I am out tonight. You will wake up to see me in a tarp next to you. Don't worry. Why don't you get a gas burner for your? Why don't you get a gas burner for your trail design? Because you can't. You can't get a gas burner for the trail design. You can't get. You can't get a gas burner for the trail designs. It's only methylated spirits, and that's it. And this is the cooker. Is it cooled off now? Yeah. So that's the cooker that so you put your methylated or your you know, your liquid in there. If I can hold it up. Yeah, so it's warm now, but it's not as it's a bit on the warm side. But that's basically but that's basically that's the cooker. It's cooled off a bit now. So that's basically your cooker. And it's got this material stuff inside. So you just simply put your meths or your liquid, you know, your bioethanol in there. And that's it. Sorry, you can't see it. And that's it. And then obviously I place it on this little bit of aluminium. Actually, I think this is, I don't know if this is like aluminium or titanium, I think. Was that titanium? So of course I place it on that. So it just keeps it off the ground. So I'm not going to burn the ground, or it just protects the ground, as we were talking about fires and all that type of stuff before. So, and that's always been that's my cooker. That's it. That's my cooker. You can't get any smaller and lighter than that if you tried. So that's it. And then obviously you just put the cone thing goes over the top. And yes, it's not as quick as gas. Gas, of course, will be quicker. But I have to say, it's quick enough. It doesn't take that long to boil. If you put the lid on, if you don't put the lid on, it takes longer. But as long as you put the lid on, then it's, you know, it's quick enough. It's only a few minutes. And frankly, when you're out here, we're not exactly in a rush or anything like that. So, you know, we can quite easily take, you know, 5 minutes or, you know, an extra few minutes to boil water. I like milk with my tea, so I'm just I always bring powdered milk with me. So that's the powdered milk. Oh, someone was asking what I was eating later on. I'll try and remember and answer that in a second. And I must admit, I'm a bit naughty. I use sweeteners. I use sugar sometimes, but I have enough sweet stuff, so I tend to use sweeteners. I can't give up sugar. I like it. I gotta see what Philip has said there. He said something as ridiculous as I would say, I think. Of course, the main thing I'll have to do a video one day on in the future, Philip, is what watch would you have for, you know, doomsday? You know, a Rolex, the Fenix, or your beloved Casio G-Shocks. Hang on, live chat. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, I'll check what I had for dinner in a minute. So yes, so we answered about the gas burner. Light and simple, keep it simple. I get it. Yeah, that's exactly it, Tom. It really is. It's just simply because it is just, well, now I can now stop cooking. So basically that's obviously your cooking pot. I've still got a drop of tea in there. But basically every single thing goes in there, you know, so I can fold that down, it goes in there, you know, the cooker goes in there, the cutlery goes in there, the lighter goes in there. So every single thing goes in there. So it's just like grab and go. And it's very convenient. Someone did try to get one of these from Trail Designs, but unfortunately, from what I can ascertain, they're not shipping to they're not shipping over here anymore, which is a bit annoying. Let's have a look. Hang on. Live chat. Right. So let's see. Peter, Dexter. I almost need my glasses to be reading these. Me and my wife have a joke. If she says if she ever met you, she'd have to get with you because you're sexy to her or something. Well, send her over this way. I'm quite happy. I mean, the sheep have all buggered off. So, you know, if there are any women around, preferably the beautiful ones, I don't want anyone fat and ugly and bold or anything like that. I'm not that desperate. But if there's anyone young and beautiful, because the sheep, they've all disappeared again. So send them over. I'm quite happy. I had enough baked beans in the army 30 years ago. Yes, I bet. Branston beans. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to get my... Oh, I see pretty 50-year-old eyes. Where did I put my glasses? Hang on. Just bear with me a minute. Just talk amongst yourselves, okay? I'm just going to find my... Oh, there they are. Hang on. Oh, God. All right, let's... Oh, well, yeah, I've had a... Hang on, I'll answer that in a minute. Let me get my glasses on. I can actually see. I'm a bit steamed up, actually. Let me just wipe these down. Hang on, that's better. read these. Excuse the glasses. Oh, hang on. All right, let's go back. All right, Peter, with you because you're sexted her or something. Okay. All right. So who said that? Peter. Me and my wife had a joke. I'm just making sure I haven't said something that's upset someone here, have I? I don't think I have, but I'm just double checking it. If I have said something that's upset someone, then clearly it's it's a joke, and obviously I don't think I have upset anyone. It certainly was never any intention. Don't think I did. Okay, all right. Well, if ever I do say anyone that upsets anyone, obviously it's just my sense of humour. So just Peter, my wife loves you. I like you. All right. Okay. I think we're okay. I think we're all good there. Okay. So what does Philip say? Put it on your Rolex to save the group from burning. Save Karen that little bit of extra tin. Just an idea, of course. No, what? It's just my... Is the weather kind to you? Yeah, we've got some very, very good weather here at the moment. It's very mild. Even with my short hair, I don't need my hat or anything at the moment. Peter, what does LML mean? Yeah, I was kind of wondering that as well. I was thinking it's like laughing, because normally it's LOL, laughing out loud. So yeah, what does Philip? What does LML L mean? Because most of us do LOL. So yeah, I kind of wondered that too. You know, it's not snowing on Dartmoor at the moment. It's quite nice down here at the moment. Oh, laugh mega loud. Ah, there you go. You haven't upset anyone. Good. Good, 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 Peter. Good. I thought it was all good. All right. We ain't joking about cancer. There's no joke here. So Gus, okay, it's fine, Gus. All right. Let's cover this just for a second, okay? Because obviously cancer is a very, very serious thing. Now, one or two of you know, some of you don't know. Now, I'm 50 years old. My wife died 11 years ago of cancer. She had 4 years of fighting this dreadful thing. I know, I understand. She had 4 years of this dreadful thing, and she lost a leg, blah, blah, blah. She had a 4-kilogram tumor in her leg at one time, and humor was, you know, was what kept us going. So whilst I agree cancer's not a funny thing, you kind of do have to have a laugh, not necessarily about cancer itself, but you do have to have a bit of a laugh around cancer, you know, otherwise it'll just drag you right down. I don't know whether you, one or two of you may have read my diaries on this. If they haven't, find my blog, and you can, you have to joke about stuff, otherwise it gets you, exactly, it does. You have to joke about this stuff, because if you don't, you'll just plummet down. And if you've ever seen Independence Day, if you've ever watched Independence Day, and in Independence Day, when Will Smith shoots that alien spaceship down, you might even guess where I'm going with this in a minute, but when Will Smith shoots that alien spaceship down, he sort of crashes himself, goes over to the alien spaceship, the alien comes out and does his wibbly bits, and then Will Smith knocks him out, and then he's dragging this alien thing across the desert, and Will Smith says to the alien something like, you know, I'm having to drag you across the desert, or whatever it was he says, something like that. Now, it got to a point where Sue, my wife at the time, from 10 years ago before she died of cancer, she couldn't get up and down the stairs to get to bed. And I just about had the strength to carry her up and down the stairs. So like literally the last couple of weeks of her life, until it got to the point where I just couldn't do it anymore. And every time I did that, I said to her, I'm having to drag your sorry ass up the stairs. And it was just funny. And we both just laughed about it, you know, bless her. She kept going with her sense of humor as well, kept me going. And you basically just have to laugh at these things. You cannot take these things, you know, seriously, otherwise it will just drag you down. And we just laughed about everything. She kept me going as much as I did her. No, I didn't drop her, but nearly. Dorset Piper, hi Tony, just lit a pipe, sat out with a coffee, turn phone on and switch on YouTube. Heavy conversation, hope you're well. Yeah, we're very well, thank you. Laughter, one of the best medicines. Yeah, it certainly is. You know, it's you have to have a laugh, you know, in these things. Thank you, Peter. Thank you. yeah, you have to laugh in these things, and I mean, quite literally, up until the last week of her life, she was laughing and joking. Then the last week, she was like just gone. There was nothing really there at all. Um, the bizarre thing is, she was like talking about a box at the end of the bed. She was like saying there's a box at the. That was a point where she was hallucinating, and I knew that. That things had gone to the point where she wasn't with us anymore, but she was with us. But up until that point, she was just laughing the whole time. Oh, my dad, when she lost her leg, my dad, whose sense of humour is as ridiculous as mine, he walked into hospital with a blown up parrot on his shoulder, like Long John bloody Silver, and everyone in the law everyone in the ward was laughing. So yeah, it was funny. All right, let's get things back to here for now. But yeah, always laugh and joke and smile about things. Cheers. Ooh. Someone asked a question earlier on, didn't they? That's a good memory to have. Yeah, it certainly is. And of course, my dad's getting old. Now he's struggling to walk. We're all showing our age these days. Basically, that's my dinner for tonight. 2 mugshots. Are you going to be live a lot now? Well, yeah, I'll try and do it occasionally. I try and go live as well occasionally. Yeah, I think so. It seems to be, it seems to go quite well. People seem to enjoy it. How long of a drive to Dartmoor? It's about 2 hours. It's not that far, only up in the Bristol area, so it's about 2 hours down here. It's easier, and quicker to get down here than obviously the Lake District. You ever been wild camping in Scotland? Once. What was it, about 6 years ago? 6, 7 years ago, and I was with Chris Townsend. We ought to we ought to forget politics. Yes, that's right. I did the watershed, or half of the watershed. Oh no, twice. That's true. Yeah, I forgot that. Yes. So I've been up there twice because I did the watershed walk with Chris Townsend. Well, I did that much. He obviously did that much, and I did that part. And then so Chris Townsend did the whole watershed, and then I just did a small portion of the watershed. And then left and right walking together exactly. and then obviously I did half of the TGO challenge with him about 6 years ago or something like that. Where am I from? Bristol. Are you talking? You have a conversation amongst yourselves. Why can I only see Gus's comments? I don't know. I'm not sure. In amongst yourselves, keep it. I think you are keeping it friendly, but just mostly keep it friendly amongst yourselves. Hang on, I'm just gonna have another. Swig of tea here. So that was the 2 times that that was the 2 occasions when I was up there about 6 years ago, and I haven't been up there since, unfortunately. Maybe one day I'll get back up there. No. It's just tea. It's funny because so many people when they go out camping, I notice that a lot of people take wine or beer or something like that with them. I never take anything with me other than just tea, or of course Dartmoor water. It's what's this? I'm trying to claim some land down near Dartmoor. If I do, Tony, I shall let you know the location. Maybe we can do some bushcraft and help me build a shelter. Yeah, we could try that. That sounds interesting. Me too. Tea, water, coffee, or bovril. Yes. Yeah, I mean, I've got nothing. If people want to drink with them, then that's fine. Obviously, it's a free country and everything, like that. But I've never quite personally understood the reasoning behind, wanting to take alcohol when you go camping. But that's just me. I mean, I just don't drink anyway, so I don't really see the point in drinking when I go to the pub. If I go to the pub, I just have tea or coffee there. Coffee? What do they coffee for? I don't drink coffee. Tea or like orange juice or something. So, but yeah, if you're doing any bushcraft though, yeah, let me know. That could be something interesting to do for the channel. But if you do any fires, make sure it's in a in a fire-friendly place as well, of course. So we were talking about food. So yeah, so I use these mug shots. That's the main thing that I use. And somewhere, I don't know where they are, but cup of soups. I use cup of soups. So I'll have cup of soups. I'll have mug shots, and then basically just sweet biscuity things, and that does for me. I keep it light, simple. Wrong bag. Like biscuit things like that. Again, I know some people bring, steaks and things like that with them. I did a steak. It wasn't last year, was it? I think it was the year before. I did bring a steak and I cooked. Oop. Damn, that was nearly my tea one. And I did do a steak in this, which actually, worked out quite nicely actually. So I might try and do another steak at some point or other, because it's quite nice. But I must admit, because I'm carrying loads of other stuff half the time, I'm trying to keep the weight down a bit. But I definitely will, I definitely will try another steak at some point in the future. If you got any other questions, then ask away. Okay, so Peter's off to work. So I shall let you know when I'm allowed. Don't worry, bud. Okay. I don't think Deliveroo will deliver our. I don't think I've got. I don't think Deliveroo would come out here if I ordered a pizza. Deliveroo cyclists would find it difficult to reach, even with 3. Presumably, you're out for a couple of nights. Well, basically, Dorset Piper. I'm sure I knew your name once, and I can't remember what it is. I'm terrible with names. Have you ever been told to pack up while camping? No. No, luckily, because of course wild camping is legal on Dartmoor at the moment, then we're perfectly entitled to camp here. I do occasionally see the farmer out and about on his, he said skidoo thing, on his four-wheelie thingy me bobs. But no, I mean, wild camping is legal on Dartmoor, so you know, nobody can shift you as long as you don't make a mess or stay in the same place, or it's quad bike. Yeah, quad bike with his two dogs. That's the one. Yeah, I've seen that. You know what would be great? Is it Peter Pera? Pera. It's an unusual name, Pera. What would be really, really good would be to Peter. Is it just your name spelt wrong on there? Is it Peter? It'd be really, really good actually. If anyone is Peter, is it okay? It would be really good if anybody knows the farmer down here with his quad bike and his two dogs on the back. That would make quite an interesting video in the spring, you know, following him around, chasing his sheep and things like that, and filming his dog on the back. That would kind of that would be kind of interesting. I've seen him around a couple of times, and I kind of thought, oh, I'd be like, that would make an interesting, you know, an interesting video. So if anybody knows the local farmer with his quad bike and two dogs, then yeah, that would be interesting. I have spoken to quite a few of them. They are all really nice. Yeah. Well, that would be an interesting thing if we could do something like that next year. Because when I do see him, and I've spoken to him like once or twice, literally in passing, we will have to arrange the farmer to drop you off a takeaway. Yeah, that would kind of be like interesting, wouldn't it? I could speak to. Yes, that would be interesting one day in the future to have a takeaway dropped off here. That would be fun one day. We'd have to arrange it like in advance so I knew it was going to happen. Lamb curry, yeah, absolutely perfect. Lamb curry. I don't know whether you saw my my video. I wonder if you guys from Prewley Moor. I don't know what this moor is called here. I don't know whether you saw it was one of the videos I did. I don't know if it was one of the watch videos or one of the videos I was doing. You'll have to check. I can't remember which one it was now. But I was talking about about the sheep. It was a watch video, wasn't it? I'm sure it was a watch video. I can't remember now. But anyway, I was talking about yes, it was. It was yes, it was a watch video. Yeah, I remember. It was a watch video, wasn't it? And I was talking about there are no sheep here, and I said they've all gone. Well, they must be tasty or something like that. It sounded funny the first time I did it. Yeah, the Garmin. It was the Garmin one, was it? Yeah, I can't keep up with my own. I can't keep up with my own videos now. So yeah, so some of you people, you want to watch the watch videos as well because they're quite funny. You get some more subscribers on that one as well because I'm getting so many hours now from this G-Shock thing. I've got like more hours than per percentage wise than I have subscribers. So some of you lot need to go over there and subscribe. Do you earn much from YouTube? No. Not really, no. 25 pounds a month from YouTube, from the adverts, 25 pounds a month. So after 3 months, then I get like 60, 70 pounds, something like that. So yeah, so I get about 60 pounds, 70 pounds every 3 months at the moment. I've not checked out Watch Channel. I will do. So I don't get very much from it. I mean, I got 3.5 or 4.5, how many thousand subscribers on this channel, but most of them don't bother watching now. I mean, I've been doing this for like 10 bloody years now. How long have I been doing this for? But really, it's only like, you know, 200, 300, 400 of you that, you know, that watch regularly. you know, now, so I don't get so much. But hopefully, once I get the watch channel up to 4,000 hours and 1,000 subscribers, then I might get some money from that. Well, you can't. The only way that you can link the channels, I've heard of Wiltshire Man. I think I've only seen one or two of his videos, but I think he's got like millions of subscribers, hasn't he? He's done really, 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 really well. So I'll check. I will check that. I will check his channel. I've seen a couple of his. He is good from what I've seen. I still don't know why I'm looking over that way, because the camera is over that way. So I'm sorry that I'm sorry my eyes are squiffy. No, Philip, no, you can't link the channels, because there's a little bit of a story to that, because I upset a few people. Because what happened was, I started off, and again, I'm sorry to go back to watches for everybody briefly, but this channel here under my name, obviously, and that is me, that is my name. I haven't used any pseudonyms or anything like that. So that is me. I've been doing this like for 10 years. And basically, I started out, I won't go through everything all over again for everybody, but basically I started it 10, 12, 13 years ago as just a way of sharing fish videos with some fishy friends, koi friends and things like that. And that's really how I set up YouTube. And that's why it's called Yoda Quicksilver, because one of my fishes was called Quicksilver. And on my, one of the fishy forums at the time, I called myself Yoda because I liked Yoda and Star Wars things. And then after Sue died, I then carried on. I then sort of started doing walking again around Cheddar, just briefly. And then I did some very small videos with the phone. And then the channel kind of just built up. And then I was using Mountain Laurel design stuff. And it kind of took off from there. And it kind of took off from there, really. So when I got into the Rolex watches, I thought I was only going to get one. Tony hasn't had a stroke. No, I haven't had a stroke or anything like that. Not that I'm aware of, anyway. Only the strokes when I do Lassie. So, you lot keep talking. You're putting me off, but keep talking. I'm sort of watching the chatty things coming up here. So I was then doing this. I then got one watch, the Yachtmaster, and then he's always having a stroke. Yeah, I'm a constant stroke. Trying to keep up. Where am I? So I got the Yachtmaster. Okay, this is obviously the Explorer 2. This is Explorer 2, but I got the Yachtmaster, and I did one video on the Yachtmaster, and I put it on this channel. And then I ended up buying this watch here, and I did a video on this watch, and I put it on this channel, the camping channel. And then I kind of got into watches a bit more than I was expecting. I wasn't expecting to get into watches, to be honest. So I then had another watch, and I did another video on it. So I was then starting to put a load of watch videos on this channel, and I did some watch straps and things like that. And I thought it would be okay. Unfortunately, two things happened. One, I upset a few viewers who didn't like me putting watches on a camping channel. It didn't really worry me too much, and if I upset a few people, well, I didn't want to upset people, but it didn't really bother me too much that people didn't like it. But, you know, you know, a lot of people didn't like it that I was putting watches on this channel. But I kept it going anyway, because I thought, well, sod it, it seemed like too much hassle to start a second channel. So I thought, well, I'm not going to start another channel just because a few people don't like it, you know, that I put watches on here. But I then sort of looked into it a little bit more, and the channel was starting to suffer a bit. I noticed that the subscribers wasn't really moving. The views weren't really moving. Now, I don't think that was entirely due to watches, because I did notice about 4 years ago that I was regularly getting about 1,000 views for every video. If you go back about 4 years, every video I did, I was getting about 4,000. I was getting about 1,000 plus views per video. And then all of a sudden it just, I don't know whether YouTube did something or whether I did something or what it was, but something happened and the views just dropped off very suddenly. And I did hear that other people had a similar thing happen to them at a similar time to when it happened to me. So I think it was that YouTube did something more than people got fed up with what I was doing. But maybe they got fed up with what I was doing anyway, because basically it comes to the same place-ish and do similar things and mutter amongst myself. And probably some people got bored with it, probably. So I don't think it was directly to do with the watches, because that was before the watches. Like I said, I then started putting watches on this channel, and you know, people didn't like it. To be honest, that didn't bother me. I don't want to upset people, but I'm not really that bothered. It's my channel. It's just a fun thing to do. I'm not after views. I'm not after subscribers. I'm not really after the money, although I must admit extra views and subscribers and you know, extra things, you know, would be nice. A bit of extra money would be nice. Obviously, we're not all going to say no to that. But then I was just doing a bit more research on it. Yeah, the number of subscribers on this channel has increased. Keep it to who you really are. Exactly. And that's why I just want to keep doing it how I am, you know, how I am doing it, because the people who watch me for me will carry on watching. And if other people want to watch other people, then obviously, you know, that's one of the reasons I rate you, Tony. You're not into it for all that. No, exactly. You know, I'm not into it. I'm not interested in the views and the subscribers. Like I said, if I can get a few more by doing what I'm doing, then that's a, you know, then that's a good thing. Are you still interested in koi? Yes, I got a koi pond in the garden with about 10 or 12 koi still swimming around in there. I don't know if any of you know Peter Waddington, good old Peter. He was used to take the mickey out of my Nexus filter. I'm sure I've sidetracked myself from somewhere or other. So yeah, so I then did a bit more research on this watch business and things like that. So that's why I set up and then I noticed that the main thing that people were searching for on this channel was Rolex and Rubber B and things and Garmin watches. And, you know, again, while I'm happy or was happy to have watches here, and I wasn't particularly worried about other people if they didn't like it, they just didn't have to watch it. It was confusing YouTube. And YouTube didn't know whether I was, you know, a watch channel, a camping channel, a nutcase channel, what kind of channel, you know, I was. So I think to help YouTube that's why I set up the watch channel. So now I've moved over most of the watches. I've still got more to move over. I haven't moved it all over yet. I can't keep up. I'm camping twice a month, and I can't keep up with my own. I can't keep up with myself at the moment. So I just had a message on my watch which just said that my camera, not my camera, because what I've got up here, if you remember, is my other phone, which is acting as a signal. And gonna all come back. Yes, buffering. That's as I brought that down here. I can only get a signal from up here. So hang on a minute. Well, I need to just find a wire to plug in some wire up there. Otherwise, we might lose the signal. Hang on a minute. Just chat amongst yourselves in a nice, friendly way. Let's keep it nice and friendly here. Oh. Right, let me just put this on a minute. Hang on a minute. I just gotta find a wire. There. Hopefully this iPhone has still got plenty of power in it. They do say that this iPhone is supposed to last for like 20 million years or something. Okay, all right. I think we've got power going up there now. Oh, there's talking. I'm going to need another tea in a moment. Oh, right. Ooh. Hang on, let me turn that off so I don't blind you. Right. Let me just put one other little tip that I can give you is probably at night, the most important thing is your head torch. So I always put my head torch in the top left-hand corner of my inner. So if I can't find anything else, I can always find my head torch, because that's the absolute most important thing in the night. Although the Garmin has a little torch on it as well. If you press a couple of buttons, that turns into a little torch, but it's not exactly very bright. Right, I'm going to make another tea. A minute. We've been going on for 80. I'll make another tea, and then I'm going to disappear on you. Hang on. I'll check through. Have I answered every question? I'm sure. Is there a question I haven't answered yet? If there's a question I didn't ask, answer, can you post again? I'll just go through them again in a second anyway. Let's get some water in there. Yeah. Do you own a Timex? No. I think I had a Timex a very long time ago. Do you have a Koi channel? No. No, because basically I don't do anything with Koi. I just although we can always have the joke about fish and chips or something like that, can't we? But no, I just did eat them, fish and chips. That's what I mean. Most of the people who watch me, sense of humour out there is as daft and ridiculous as mine. No, I don't have any children, just Lassie and a wife who drives me mad. What do you think? I come out here twice a bloody month. No, I never really wanted. I've eaten the children. That's why you have children for Christmas, because you can't afford a turkey. So you have children, and then you have them for Christmas. Wasn't that in a comedy or something like that? It was like Rowan Atkinson or something like that. It's okay. You can ask questions. It's fine. I don't mind you asking. It's fine. You can ask away. I don't mind. I'm happy. If I don't want to ask a question, I'll just Turkey. You are posh. Presumably the wife doesn't wash YouTube. No, I hope not. No, she's fine. Chat room full of trolls. Wacky, go back to your cave. All right. Well, there's obviously. Let's try and keep it nice out there, right? Right. Yeah, it was. You got to have turkey for Christmas. What's a troll? Isn't that one of those things that's under the Billy Goat's gruff? Oh, I did light it. The Billy Goat's gruff thing. Right, that's the kettle back on again. I've lost the top to it now. But like I said, you've got to have. Oh, Jesus, you've got to have a good sense of humour, I tell you. You've got to be able to laugh about things. You've got to laugh about every single thing. So, yeah, all good sake there. Just have a laugh, and you just laugh. Just laugh and have a joke about things. Not sure I'm seeing all comments. No, I'm not sure whether someone has blocked someone else or not out there. Is your budget tent in the bin yet, Tony? Well, I think it's either going to have to go in the bin or it's going to have to be sort of given away to someone who's got a child or something like that, because that's all you could ever do, with anything, like that. Going to write anymore. I am only going to watch from now, as I don't want to be spoken to like this. Okay, I'm not sure who's upsetting you. Try and keep it friendly out there, okay? Let's try and keep it friendly, because this is a friendly channel, and I don't want you lot upsetting other ones out there, because there's no need for people to be there's no need for one person to upset someone else, not on this channel. We don't want that here. So whoever I don't think anyone is being unpleasant to each other. Messages are tricky things, to say the least. But just beware that some people, a message can get confused in, message is not the easiest of things to interpret correctly. I mean, I've done that myself sometimes, when you type a message and you mean one thing and someone else takes it as meaning, something else. So just be careful with what you're writing. You know, this is a fun and friendly thing, and I don't want people upsetting other people, or someone, you know, thinking that someone is being rude when maybe they're not. So, you know, just everybody just be a little bit cautious with what you're, you know, with what you're saying, and what other people, might be thinking, because I don't want people, you know, getting upset, you know, on this channel. There's enough upset on other, there's enough upset in the world as it is, you know, without anything going on here. There's only 10 of you watching. It's not as if you've got 1,000 people out there or anything like that. You know, it's just 10 of us. Well, 10 of you plus one of me. I'm not sure about that. So just keep it friendly, okay? I'm not picking on anybody, but just keep it, let's just keep it really, really civil, because that's what this channel is about. Hang on, my water. How many nights? This is my third and last. It sounds like you're picking on us a bit. No, I'm not picking on anybody. I think someone was just getting a little bit worried about what was going on, and that's all. But I'm not picking on anybody, not at all, you know. And I don't think anything was said wrong personally, but I think someone got upset, and we don't want that. 3 nights, yeah. I've been here for, this is my third night here. Then I head back, then I head back tomorrow. Tony's just being decent. Yes, correct. Thank you, Chris. You've done well to squeeze 10 of us in there with you. Yeah, wacky. It's my pleasure. Julian Fisher. Hi, Tony. Any tips to overcome fear of sleeping in an open tap? Do you have a dog with you? You're still here, wacky. Yes, good. Yes. All right, good. Yes. Well, there's nothing to be afraid of, to be honest. Yes, I do have a dog. Where is she? Oh, hang on. I don't know if you can see there. Furry friend, just over, just that collie. You can just see her in the dark. If she didn't have a bit of white on her, white face, if she didn't have that white on her, yeah, she's a collie. She's a obviously for me, she's a purebred collie. Kind of just worked out that way, to be honest. Surprisingly, a lot of people, they think you have to have, I don't know where I had this position now. Although, no, I think the reason why it's gone is because I adjusted it, didn't I? All right. Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they like a tent. They prefer to be in a tent because it's all closed off. Okay, wacky. I can't be dealing with people. Okay, well, we do the best that we do the best that we can, or watch in the background. Hopefully everything's good out there. But yes, carry on watching my videos. Gus. I just suggest that if someone is being just you know, if someone doesn't want to get involved in the chat and they just want to talk to me here, then just let them chat. Talk to me, maybe, because this is still quite new to me, so I don't know whether anyone's got any things, any sort of advice for this type of thing. But maybe if someone doesn't want to communicate amongst yourselves there, then just don't talk amongst yourselves. Talk to me and I'll answer your questions, rather than, you know, because obviously there seems to be a little bit of you know, there seems to be a little bit of upset going on here. So Peter, I'm not picking on you, Peter, but obviously if Wacky, you know, has talk to me and not to each other if it's going to cause a problem. I think that's the best way around that. If anyone's got any advice on how to deal with this situation, then, you know, because I don't want you upsetting each other. There's no need for it. No, I'm not calling Wacky a snowflake. He just wants to talk to me, and he doesn't want other people, you know, upsetting him. That's all. So hopefully Wacky is still, yes, it has. Has your water boiled yet? My water has boiled, yes, and I'm gonna make a cup of tea. Right. And you lot can start behaving yourselves out there a little bit. If anything, the views went up. That's true. People, they should try and behave themselves. No, Wacky hasn't done anything wrong, Peter. Wacky just wants to be left in peace, and Wacky just wants to talk to me. You know, we're all equal here. We're all equal. You know, if Wacky just wants to talk to me and Wacky doesn't want to be talking to, you know, and Wacky doesn't want to be upset by other people, then Wacky doesn't have to be upset by other people. So leave him alone. Just, you know, if Wacky wants to talk to me, Wacky can talk to me in here. You don't have to, don't hassle him or pester him or anything. Just leave him alone. You know, just leave him alone. You know, you're being friendly with me. Peter is being friendly with me. So Peter, carry on being friendly with me. If it was Peter or whoever, Gus, whoever it is, I can't keep up. So you be friendly with me, and you don't have to be unfriendly amongst yourselves. It's just, there's no need for it. Why? Anyway, I'm gonna make my tea, and you lot be civil amongst yourselves. And there are snowflakes around, yes, but I don't think Wacky was being one of those. He was just asking questions. Right, I'm gonna make my tea, and then we'll see where we are. All right, let's tea bag sweetener in there. Maybe we'll get a bowl of ice. Get a bowl of ice for some people. I don't know. Right. Have you got a film for later? Yes, I've got basically this trip I've been doing videos on the basically this trip I've been doing videos on the all right, Peter, let's just back off on this snowflakey thing now, Peter. Okay, we've basically got I've basically been doing a video on the Garmin G-Shock GWG 2000. That's the main thing that I've been doing this trip. I've done a little bit of, you know, filming around camp, but mainly it's been trying to get a video done on that. And then, because I'm so far behind on videos anyway, and I was at the Lake District last couple of weeks ago, and I still haven't done a video on that one. So I've still got plenty of videos to do. You know, so I've still got plenty of videos to do on that. So, you know, I'll catch up with my videos, you know, at some point or other. On that. So I haven't done so much in the way of camping videos this time. Where's my glasses? Trooper, good evening. Good evening, Trooper. Welcome. Welcome to you. Oh yeah, the other question that someone did ask. The other question that someone did ask is about camping with an open shelter. And obviously, most of the time, and most people use a tent because they want to be, you know, closed in and that type of thing, and they don't want any grass around. Hello, Trooper. They don't want grass, and they don't want to see anything outside or anything like that, you know. Whereas to me, it's nice to be able to see outside. So I don't think there's any tips. I don't think there's any tips as such, you know, to give for it. It's just fine. You just get used to it. I mean, it's, you know, it's fine. I mean, if I turn the torch, I don't really know. I don't quite understand what happened there, you know, at all. You know, if we go back through the chat and everything, you know, then we can see. But I don't think Wacky did anything. I think he just asked a question or something like that. I don't think Peter has either done anything particularly, but Peter just seems to be getting a little bit, you know, defensive for no real reason. So I think you've just got yourself upset for no reason. So I think you just need to just leave Wacky alone, let him do his own thing, and then Peter does his own thing. Just don't bicker amongst yourselves or anything like that. And Peter, you don't have to keep going on about Wacky. Just leave Wacky alone. Leave him alone. So let's just drop this subject now. Let's stop talking about Wacky and everything else, because we don't need to waste time, you know, on things like, leave him alone. As far as I'm aware, he hasn't done anything. This conversation isn't about other people. This conversation is about me. Right. So, you can't really see anything. I was kind of sort of thinking if I shone the light, I was kind of thinking if you shone the light outside, you'd be able to see outside. But I mean, basically, all I can see is what you can see, which is, if I put it through, hang on a minute. Sorry. Oh no, hang on a minute. Oh no, it is that way, isn't it? Yeah, I was thinking because the cameras go both ways. Both ways. Yeah, so it's just completely dark out there. The main thing that you just have to be aware when you're, hang on, yo, that's gone and done it. Right, look, Peter, leave Wacky alone. If you don't leave Wacky alone, keep going on about it, then I will just end up having to block you, okay? As far as I'm aware, you haven't done anything, he hasn't done anything. If you keep going on about him, I will just block you, because there's just no reason to keep going on about him, okay? Leave him alone. I don't know who he is, I don't know who you are, but don't keep going on about someone. Leave him alone. Right, so going back to the question, you kind of just get used to it, to be honest. It's, hang on a minute, guys. All right. Okay. All right. Well, I'll figure this stuff out afterwards. All right. All right. I'll sort this out later on. All right. Let's have a look. Right. Hang on. Let's see where we are. All right. We're just going to have to ignore Peter because I think he's being. I don't even know how to block you at the moment, Peter, but I will be because you're the one who's being stupid now. Right. So, Chris, if anyone else had to block someone on here, post a thing below because I haven't figured it out yet. Chris, I like bivvies, tarps, trekking poles, shelters, tents a lot. Different stuff for different weather and places. I like trying different options. Yes, exactly. That's what I like, trying to do. That's why in the summer, I did the, I used the tarps a lot. Well, I'm using the tarps, all the time, because even in the winter, it's basically a tarp, isn't it? But then I have, hang on a minute, I need to wet my whistle. I used the bivvy at the beginning of August with the tap over the top of it. And later in August, and I haven't done this video yet, but later in August this year, I did a camp where all 3 nights were in the just with the bivvy, and that was really nice. So I had no tap over the top of it at all, just the bivvy with no tap, and I did that at the end of August, but I haven't edited that video yet. Right, Trooper. Ton, do you know Outdoors Inspiration? Subscribe to him. No, I don't know that. I don't know that channel. Gus, do you do drones? I used to. Click the name and block. Report, remove, hide. Yeah, it's not giving me that. It's not giving me that. It's not giving me that option. I'll a bit limited with what I can do on here. I'll have a look at it later on. Right. I expect Julian, who asked the question, read fear and taps may have been put off and left. Yeah, unfortunately. Let's hope he comes back later on. I still haven't figured out how to block yet, unfortunately. Oh well, I'll figure it out later on and see if hopefully I can do it afterwards. So just everybody just block Peter, and then I'll try and figure out how to block him later on. So hopefully, if Julian comes back and watches this later on, or maybe Julian can ask the next time we do a live stream. But basically, you just kind of just get used to it, really. It's not really. Hang on, you can't see me now. It's fine. It's just easy. The main thing is, Tony just joined. I think most are just ignoring the post from one. We can ignore the nonsense. Carry on as you're doing for what we are waiting for. Yeah, sorry. It's distracting me at the moment and putting me off what I'm trying to talk about, because I keep seeing the messages coming up of this person and I'm not concentrating. So I need to figure out how to block, and then I'm not having to put up with this nonsense. So yeah, basically, you know, you get used to it. The main thing that you need to know and understand is you're going to get more airflow. And if you get more airflow coming through, then you're going to get colder than if it was, say, than if you were in a tent. Because if you were in a tent, then obviously the tent, is going to block out most of the drafts. Whereas, of course, if you have, thank you, Trooper. Whereas if you have a, a tarp like this, you can't pitch it right to the ground. Well, you can, but then you lose a lot more of your, you use a lot more space. You can pitch it to the ground, but it's not that easy to pitch some tarps right to the ground. You can do it, but it's not necessarily the easiest things, to do. So the main problem that you're going to have is that you will get some air flowing through because you haven't got the inner tent to keep you, kind of like more sheltered. And if you haven't got that inner tent, you're more exposed. Therefore, make sure that you have a warm enough sleeping bag, and it's the sleeping bag that effectively is keeping you warm, not the tent. Because obviously if you're in a tent, that blocks out all the drafts. Whereas if you're in a tarp, you're going to get more airflow, and therefore you need a warmer sleeping bag. That's certainly what I found with my experience of doing this. And I'd rather have a lighter shelter, but make up for it with a warmer sleeping bag. And as long as your sleeping bag, is up to the job, then you will be, okay. So that's the main thing, is that you need to be warm enough that if you do get a draft coming through, that you don't get cold. So that's the main thing, is that you're warm enough. So make sure you've got some gloves. And I've never really had problems with gloves either. Just wear a pair of gloves. And normally, if you've got like a hat on, something like that, and you get this hooked really tight close to you, and you get your sleeping bag up close to you, and if you have a down jacket that goes over the top, then you can still sit up. And you can watch your program, you can watch your tablet, your films or whatever. You can eat and cook sitting up, because the sleeping bag is keeping you. Put a warm enough hat on, and even if you've got a draft coming through, it's not going to be that bad, and you will still be warm enough. And obviously, if you and just make sure that you pitch it downwind, so that obviously if the wind is blowing in this direction and it rains, that the rain can't get in. Because obviously if the rain does a 180 on you, which it can, then you will get a little bit you're gonna get a bit screwed with that one. But as long as the wind is blowing anywhere from like 270 degrees around this way, you're going to be protected, even when you're that close to the door. You can see that you can see where the edge is there, and the rain is not going to get in at you. It's very unlikely that the rain is going to get in and get you wet in the night, to be honest. If I'm in a tarp, I would have a bivvy of some description. This is the MLD. Is that the first time I've mentioned MLD? How long's that taken? That's like nearly 2 hours, and I haven't mentioned MLD yet. I must have a temperature. This is the MLD bug bivvy, and it's surprising how a nose caddy. Yeah, you definitely want something on your nose. It's surprising how much warmth you will get, even with mesh or water MLD. You must know who MLD are. Must love Dartmoor. 90 Laurel Designs, for those who don't know. So, and this will actually keep you, keep an extra degree or two of warmth in with you. Oh, I did mention it earlier, did I? Oh, okay, that's right then. Kidding. I thought you were kidding. I was going to say, you must know. So, like an inner like this, it does keep, it does keep a bit of warmth inside as well. So, so this is quite helpful. But if I'm in the Trail Star or the Geo Mid or the Super Mid, then I would just use a ground sheet. And I don't use an inner of any description. I don't use a bivvy if I'm in the Trail Star, Geo Mid, Super Mid, because you can pitch all of those quite close to the ground, and they all give enough protection that realistically you don't need a bivvy or anything with those personally. Some people do. I never bother, and I must admit this shelter here is big enough that I could pitch it lower to the ground and not bother with a bivvy, but I just brought one on this occasion. But I think I have used this double tarp with just a ground sheet, and I must admit a bigger ground sheet's kind of handy, because then you can put things around you. I got things on the grass at the moment, but I must admit if it was wet, then it's kind of handy not having the bivvy and having a ground sheet, and then you can just put the ground sheet you can just put the ground sheet down, and that's really enough. You don't outside of the summer months, when you do need like a bivvy or something because of the bugs and things like that, outside of the summer months you don't really need an inner. It's not really essential. Some people find comfort in them, but they're not, as long as your sleeping bag is warm enough. The main thing is to make sure that your sleeping bag is up to task, and to know how cold a sleeper you are. Because if you're a very cold sleeper like I am, then make sure that you've got a sleeping bag that is many times warmer than you're likely to need. That's the most important thing. That's the most important thing, definitely. Have I missed any important? I never thought we've been chatting for over 2 hours here. I didn't think we'd be chatting that long. I thought we'd only do like an hour. Mind you, some of the time has been taken up dealing with children out there, or a child. Preston Glad. Oh well, I used to watch your videos way back. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time. Tony, just drawing. Think most of us just ignoring the post. Yeah. Are you anywhere near Beretta at the moment? No. After all your camps using MLD, you hardly get any tick problems, even though they are rife. Yes, that is exactly. I don't know if Julian is still around. I've been camping down here now for during the war, says what's his name used to say, Uncle Albert. I've been camping down here for 10 plus years, and I've been walking down here for 20 years virtually, and I've never, apart from one occasion recently, had a tick on me. I have I have not had any ticks on me. I had one tick on me about a month or a few months ago when I was just camping somewhere, but it was on Dartmoor. I must admit, I've been very, very lucky with ticks. Lassie gets them occasionally, but not that many. I just not really had many ticks. Luckily, like I said, I had one on me the other month. Luckily, I saw it and I started to worry because it was a very small one. And I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to get this tick off because I don't think I had the tweezers to get it off. But I think he'd only just literally got on me, and I was able to pinch him with my fingernails and pull him off and got him off easily. And another one I saw walking up my trouser leg the month before, maybe July or something like that. And other than that, I've not had a tick problem here, thankfully. I've not had any problem with ticks. I'm just having a look through. I would be scared of foxes. Life on the rocks. There aren't any foxes here. Mainly the only things that are here are cows and sheep occasionally. I saw one badger a very long time ago, and I may have seen one fox. But that's it. Yeah, I do. That's one thing I do need to add to my pack trooper is a pair of tweezers. I probably, to be honest, I have a penknife, and my little penknife. It's a little penknife. It's a teeny weeny one. That's a penknife we're talking about, and I think that might have. And that might have a pair of tweezers attached to it. I'm not sure. Right. What pad? Okay, so Preston. I don't know if you're still around, Preston. Pad. I've got a Thermarest. It's with the yellow one. It's the yellow Thermarest. It's not the Z. It's not the Z. Yeah, the Z light, because I in the winter I tend to use the Thermarest. So in the winter I use the Thermarest, and then in the summer I use the Z light Thermarest. Is it Z light or something? It's a yellow one anyway, which does fine. But then I also always have but then I always put like a foam mat under it as well, because the problem that I find with most airbeds like this one is I tend to bottom out on them, even when I blow them up quite hard. But if I blow them up too hard, then you can't, they're a bit too hard and they're not very comfortable for sleeping on. So I tend to let some air out. And I usually find that my bum goes through them. So I always, as I mentioned in a couple of the videos, I always put a foam mat under my airbed. Always. Even in the summer, I'll always put a foam mat, even if it's just a light one, under the mat, under the airbed. Closed cell foam or inflatable. Yeah, so Preston, if you're still around, inflatable Thermarest, and then closed cell foam underneath it. I think we're catching up here. I'm just going back over. All right, Steve. Okay, the ultimate question. How do you keep your nose warm at -5? I can't work that out. You can. Basically, you can't. You just have to lump it, really. I mean, again, I go back. Luckily, we've not had that much. We've not had that much cold down here, down south. Good. Is our friend popped back again? We've not had that many cold winters down here, but if you go back about 7 or 8 years, when I did a walk with Bess, it's going back a bit, and it was like -7 or -8 in camp, and I just had the Trail Star, the Cuban fiber Trail Star, and yeah, I mean, yeah, as long as you keep everything, welcome back. As long as you keep, as long as your sleeping bag is warm enough, and as long as you've got gloves and a hat, and then also when it's very, very cold, if you've got your down jacket on, which I described earlier on, and you put your down jacket hood up over the top of a balaclava or something like that, then most of your face is going to be warm. So it's kind of like pretty much every part of your face is going to be warm enough that basically your nose doesn't really get too cold anyway. So you kind of sort of, maybe your nose is the one part that might get a bit cool, but that's about it, to be honest. You kind of get used to it. It's not really a problem. Have I caught up? Okay, so we've done that. When we've done Steve's, the nose caddy. I love. Okay, life on the rocks. I would love a duomid, but can't afford the import tax. Right. Well. Okay, life on the rocks. How do we put this? You might find that when you buy MLD stuff, that it kind of just lands on your doorstep. So, I wouldn't worry too much. I wouldn't worry too much about import taxes. Generally speaking, MLD stuff has a habit of just kind of like landing on your doorstep. And let's leave it at that, shall we? Trekology for me, press it down, Dorset. Fingers are starting to get a bit cool now. Do you have any with midges biting? Midges, not too much of a problem. The midges down here, they probably come around maybe June through to September, something like that. And then if you do get midges or those little biting things. They're not like the midges up in Scotland, though. Those are absolute buggers up in Scotland, from what I understand. But down here, you get those little teeny weeny little biting things, but they're not too bad down here. What I tend to use is just like a repellent stuff. Mosquito milk is good to use. So I recommend mosquito milk. It comes in a glass jar, so it's quite heavy, but that tends to help keep the buggers at bay. Or just, you can maybe light something and that might help keep them at bay. But luckily, they're tolerable down here. Wacky, no, I think he's gone. Right, where are we? Do you have any midges? Steve went in the hammock in the lakes last weekend and had 3 on one arm. Tico twist to the rescue. some people seem to get more ticks than other people. Whether, you know, ticks are attracted to some people more than others, I'm not quite sure. Like I said, luckily I've been okay with ticks, but I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump too soon. Is there many people about Turner as it died off? Now it's yesterday. I saw a few people walking across over that way. I saw two runners run past about 100 meters or so in that direction, and I saw a couple of walkers up on the local hill, and that's been about it. And I think I saw one person walk past today, but luckily it's quite quiet here. What tarp have you got? This tarp is the it's starting to get a bit cool now. This tarp is the Mountain Laurel Designs Grace Duo tarp. I was using for a while the Grace Solo tarp, but I found it just a little bit on the, it's a bit on the small side. I like to have plenty of room. If you watch my videos, then you notice that, you know, I like to have lots and lots of room around me. You know, I like to be able to spread myself out a bit. So having a bigger tarp, you know, is handy. Is very, very handy for that. So this is a duo, the Grace Duo in Cuban fiber, obviously. I think we're starting to, which tarp have you got? I hope Wacky's still around. Hi guys, nice to be back. Yeah, good to have you back. Sorry about the problem we had earlier. How about wearing a buff that covers your nose? I do have a buff. Oh yeah, I got a buffy buff. You could do, but then if you, yeah, I mean, you could wear a buff. Oh, I need to sit up a minute. My arm's going to sleep. You could wear a buff. The only problem that I found with a buff, I'll wear one around the neck. I'll wear a buff around the neck. I don't like tight things around my neck. I get enough congestion, as you probably notice in some of my videos. I try to cut all the coughing out and everything, but you know, so yeah, I tend to wear a buff around the neck in the winter. I have sometimes brought one up here when it's being very, very cold, but then you end up breathing into it and then it just gets damp anyway. So you kind of, you know, you gain one thing from a bath, but then you lose by breathing into it and it getting, you know, very, very moist. Hang on a minute. I'm going to have to put the kettle back on again in a minute. You lot keeping me. Yes, I definitely know up in Scotland you have a lot of problems up there. Stay warm, just don't sweat. You sweat, yeah, because exactly, Trooper, that's right. Because when you have to be warm enough, but without sweating. A red-nosed, lined foam nose, yeah, that'll be a good way of keeping your nose warm. A red nose on it. Wacky, I did start making videos beginning of this year, but I've had a lot of stuff happen this year which stopped me from being able to record. So I have deleted them as I wasn't sure when I could. Tony, can you recommend a good starting off stove? Well, I mean, whilst MLD stuff tends to land on your doorstep, you know, obviously the Trail Designs stuff seems to get caught up. So that's not quite so easy to recommend. I would recommend Trail Designs because, you know, I've been using it for a very, very long time now. but I don't think they're shipping to this country, to Great Britain at the moment. So if you know an American friend, then they could buy it and then they could send it back. They could send it back. Then they could send it to you. One of those super lightweight jet. Well, a jet boil obviously is a good option, but they're not the cheapest of things. If you saw my video, if I've done it yet, or my cheap camping stove video, just a regular stove like that is fine, and just make sure you've got plenty of gas with you. So yeah, just one of those gas cookers. You can get them for like £15, £20. A pocket rocket is how much is a pocket rocket? About £25, £30. So something like pocket rocket, or even cheaper. I did use another one, and I know a camp or two ago, and it's the lightest stove that you can get. It was like 15 grams for this stove. I'm not saying it's necessarily the most stable of things. You'd have to be careful with it, but there is like a 15 or 20 gram gas stove that you can get. I think if you check out my Amazon affiliate links, they're still doing those. They booted me off, then I'm back on again, and I didn't do anything. So obviously one or two of you must have bought something, which was very handy. And Amazon didn't kept me. Okay, Dorset Piper, can you I've not seen that survey thing. Can you somehow send that to me, get that to me somehow or other? I don't know how you find me. I'm sure you can somehow. Or get Richard. I don't know if you know Richard. Get him to, I'll maybe contact him. I haven't filled that in. I probably need to do that. So Gus, I've mentioned about, oh, hang on, what have I done? I pressed something. So Gus, yeah, so you can get a very small gas stove for like 15, 20 pounds. They're perfectly good enough. You don't have to be spending, loads of money on this type of thing. Yes, this type of thing, is very, very good and is really unbeatable. But, you can get a good lightweight stove, and there's nothing wrong with them at all. They work very well. Just make sure you've got plenty of gas, and make sure you've got like a windshield that goes around it as well. BRS, I think that was the one. Yes, Chris, I think that's the I think that is the one that I was talking about. So yes, so whoever was asking, I'm sorry, I can't keep up with names. Whoever was asking about stuff, yeah, BRS, and I think they make the lightest stove that you can get. It's like 15, 20 grams, and it's like 15 pounds or something like that. And it really is very, very good. And I have used it in a video. Maybe I just haven't edited it yet. Well, Wacky Outdoors, if you start making some more videos, then, good luck with doing it, and just do it for fun. Just enjoy making videos. Don't pressure yourself into views and subscribers and that type of thing. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Just enjoy making videos. So that's basically what I do. I just enjoy making the videos, and that's it. That rock was over near Sowerton Tor area. I can't think what the tour is called, but it's over Sowerton Tor area. It's the one I was with Darren. What do you do during the day? Do you just lie under the tap? I must admit, basically, yes. Yeah, I just relax here. You know, when I come here, I just tend to just relax here for a couple of days and then head home. I'll go for a short walk around, but it's surprising. By the time I've woken up, I tend to get so much sleep at home, so I tend to get more sleep here, and then yeah, about £12. That's right, Chris. They're very, very cheap. So yeah, basically, I don't get so much sleep at home, so I come here and I get more sleep here. So by the time I've woken up and come to and had some breakfast, it's like mid-morning, and then I might have, and then I'll watch something on the phone now, but it was a tablet. And then I tend to just make some videos while I'm here of one thing or another. So, you know, often I'm making a camping video of some description, or I'm chatting to myself, making a video, waffling away. I'm sure most people probably get totally bored with me waffling away, but some people enjoy me waffling away. So I waffle away to the camera, and people enjoy that. I can't imagine why, but some people do. And then I might find other things to make videos about. So, like I said, this trip, I've been making videos about the G-Shock and things like that, the GWG 2000 Mudmaster, because on my Wild About Watches video channel, check it out. Check out my previous videos. There are direct links to it. I don't know how many views it's got now, but that one video I did a couple of days ago is it's got like nearly 9,000 views on it. Scout, hello Scout. Thank you for what you did the other day as well, Scout. So the tab, where are you? Any views on the bylaws situation? I've not heard any more. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, even if they did ban even if they did ban camping here, you know, we're still going to come out here camping. We might just have to be a bit more careful with where we're camping and that type of thing. And the trouble is, some places, you know, the farmers are around quite a bit with their sheepdogs and things like that. So, you know, whether a farmer with a sheepdog would be likely to come over and say, you know, you're not supposed to be camping here, it's now illegal, or whether they'd even bothered saying anything, I don't know. I don't think they will make it illegal on all of Dartmoor. I just don't think that they will go that far. I hope not anyway. At the moment, they're only trying to make it illegal in pockets around the edges of Dartmoor, which in itself isn't too much of a problem. I hope that they don't make it illegal for the whole of Dartmoor. If they did, well, you know, we camp everywhere else, so we're likely just to carry on. No, I've never been challenged, Trooper. Nobody's ever said anything to me. Once, a few years ago, I was parking in a car park that said no overnight parking, and I phoned up the ranger. Somehow I was actually able to get hold of one back then, and I said, oh, it says no parking in this car park, overnight parking. And he said basically what that means is that you can't camp there and you can't stay there. He said if your car's there, then you're probably, you know, I don't think anybody's going to, there's a little beastie thing. Oh, he's gone. Oh no, he's on the back of my hand there. He's not a biting one, I don't think, so anyway, he's gone. Yeah, again, I think the farmers would be far too busy here to move anybody on. But yeah, when I spoke to the ranger years ago, he said, you know, if you're just parking there and you're not staying there, then, you know, then you're okay. for parking. That's the only time I've ever had any real contact with. Yes, Dorset Piper. Yeah, get Richard to post me or send me that thing. Wacky Outdoors, even if they ban it. Yes, again, it's right, Wacky. I think, you know, as long as you are sensible with what you are doing, I don't think anybody would bother too much. What were those headphones Darren had on that camp with you recently? I don't know. That's a good question. What were those headphones Darren had on that camp? I'm not sure. It's a good question. The main thing is, yeah, life on the rocks. We should be fighting to not lose what we currently have. Once it's lost, we will never get it back. Yeah, exactly. So we need to keep pressing and pushing that they don't ban anymore, because that's the problem, isn't it? Because once they start banning a bit of it, then, you know, we don't want them going on banning more and more and more and more. Let's see. Same here, Dorset, but you have to do your bit. I tried to write a letter to Dartmoor National Park, but I don't have the knowledge to write a decent letter, so I gave up. Any letter will do. Any letter will do. I think we're catching up. Hey Tony, are you originally from Australia? You have a slight accent. Where are you? Where's Gus from? Are you American, Gus, by any chance, or are you British? I'm not quite sure, because that's one question that when I was traveling in America quite a bit, which I did in the late 90s and very early 2000s, I was always being asked if I was Australian. No, I'm Bristolian, although I don't have a Bristolian accent. I'm a bit too posh for that. I think my granny brought me up proper like. Ton, recommend fish and chips in Princetown. I'll maybe try that out sometime. Okay, well, I think we've caught up. Oh, you're Scottish. No way. To both Scottish. There were sort of wireless things that went. That wasn't headphones. No, I think what that was, yeah, I remember, I know what you're talking about now. No, I think that was something to do, I'm going to have to disappear in a minute because I've been chatting for nearly 3 hours and I need another tea, and I've been drinking several teas, and in a minute I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to pop out to the little boy's room. No, I think what that was, yes, I remember now. I think what that was, it was something that went round the head and it covered the eyes as well. And I think it kind of played like music in the ears, or maybe bird songs, or maybe whales farting or something like that. And it just played music in the ears or something. And I think it was to help him sleep. So, but I don't know. I don't know what it was. I didn't really think to ask. I didn't think to say, oh, by the way, Chris is going to ask what that is in a few months' time. So I'm not sure. But it's something that covered the head and the eyes. And I think you could just listen to music. Theoretically, you could listen to your tablet, but then it covered your eyes as well. So you wouldn't actually see your tablet. And I think it was a Bluetooth thing, so I think it could connect to his phone. So I think you could listen to music, so you could listen to music and things like that, or a talking book or something, but I'm not quite sure what it was. But maybe if you Google Bluetooth eye covering thing on Amazon, if you find it, let me know and I'll put an Amazon affiliate link below. All right, guys, I think we're going to have to finish up in a moment. We've been talking for nearly 3 hours. Right. That has been a long chitty-chatty and went very well, mostly, apart from a little hiccup in the middle. But apart from that little hiccup, we went very well. Thankfully, Wacky came back, which is a good thing. So, yeah, I'm going to have to go out to the world's greatest loo. Is there a... Oh, hang on, I've pressed a button there. Hang on. Where are we? Press that button there. Oh, no. That's it, yes. Is there a lecky hook to point up? No, there's no electricity out here. You just have to use your power packs out here. Oh, pardon me. You can't, if you belch or fart on a video, you can edit that out. You can't edit that out on this. That's it, Tony. Oh, can we see Lassie, please? Yes. Lassie, wake up. Lassie, come around here. Oh, hang on. Take care, Tony. Thank you. Hang on a minute. Wait there. Wait there. Hang on. Yes, she's been sleeping, well behaved somewhere. There. Good girl. And there's a stroke if Johnny in New Zealand and everyone else joins on. Take care, everyone. All the best. Night night. Good night to everybody. Let's see. Oh, there. Oh, that's nice, isn't it? I think we're rather enjoying that. Oh, let's see. All right. I think that's enough of that cupboard love. Good girl. Good girl, let's see. All right, everybody. I'm going to say good night, and Lassie is going to say good night too. And she would let you do that all night. Yeah, she definitely would. That is for sure. All right, everybody. Sleep well. Have a good night's sleep, everybody. And watch out for more videos. Don't forget to subscribe to Wildlife Watches. Drop a few more watch hints there. And watch out all my other videos on this channel. This has been great fun. And I will see you all again very soon. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Thank you. And thanks for all the support and everything. Thank you. It's much appreciated. I'll see you again another time. Now I've got to find out how to hang on, how do we it was that button there, I think. Are you sure you want to stop streaming? Yes. Okay, I'm just about to press the button now, and I will see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the views, subscribes, all that stuff. Thanks very much. See you again soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.